بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين أفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. My beloved Muridins, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Alhamdulillah, our gratitude to Allah for having able us to be here on this very blessed Sunday morning in a state of good health and iman, to be remembering the awliya Allah as-salihin. And verily it is very important for us to remember the power of the awliya Allah as-salihin. And no matter what obstacles the times might bring, right, it is truly the power of the awliya Allah as-salihin that will bring us through, inshallah. So reciting Mawlid Muhiddin is a way that we reconnect ourselves with the awliya Allah salihin, whom we know are still alive in their graves. They're still making dua for us. All, inshallah, we'll receive their goodness, inshallah. So we're now talking about the life and times of Sheikh Khawaja Nizamuddin Awliya Mahbub Ilahi. And so we've gone through quite a bit about the work of the Sheikh. Right? I'll skip this. And we'll go into the birth and the family of the Sheikh. I don't know, some of you might have bought the book. They only found 3 copies there in India. If you have, you can visit this book by Khalid Ahmad Nizami. So the author, who's also a Nizami, means he's a descendant of the Sheikh himself. He says this. He says, on the birth and the family of the Sheikh, he says, like many other distinguished families of the age that were uprooted from their homelands by the Rus and the Mongol invasions, the paternal and maternal grandfathers of Khawaja Nizamuddin Awliya, yani Khawaja Ali and Khawaja Arab, left Bukhara, right? So these two. The maternal is paternal Khawaja Ali, maternal Khawaja Arab. So these two grandfathers of Khawaja Nizamuddin Awliya moved away from where they were, left Bukhara. So they were originally from Uzbekistan, Bukhara. When the armies of Genghis Khan carried sword and fire into the flourishing cities of Central Asia. Right? So this is during this time as well, you get a lot of the Sufi great awliya. Mevlana Jalaluddin Ar-Rumi, a lot of them. The family of, later we'll read about, Khawaja, what's his name? The student of the Sheikh. Huh? The student of the Sheikh, not the Sheikh of the Sheikh. Amir Khusro, Khawaja Amir Khusro's family, etc. All of them moved. Right? So Bukhara was a great cultural center where the Silsila-e-Khawajagan, precursors of the Naqshbandi order, had established numerous khanqahs and zawiyas. So this is where the Khawajagans, right? So we know about, example, the Habaibs. We know about the sheikhs that happened, the shuyukh that you get from Iraq, etc. And maybe also from Mecca, Medina. So from Central Asia, that's where you get, where your current national states like Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, etc., Pakistan, right? And even India. So India later developed, all of them met at in India, and it was all called the Khawajagan Masters. So it comes from the word Khawaja or Khawaja, either way it works. So Khawaja is I think is the Urdu way of saying without the W, the waw. The Persian way is with Khawaja. So you get Khawaja or Khawaja, both are the same meaning. It means Sheikh. It means master. It means like sir. Right? So among the Arabs it's called Sheikh. Sheikh in Arab also can mean Sheikh in terms of Akbar min al-Umur, in terms of age. So if a person lives, example, up to 70 or 80 or even 60, plus above 63, you can call the guy, the man a sheikh, because he's old. Or once he reaches 60, you can call him sheikh. Out of respect, sheikh means respected, venerated elder. So that's why when you have Shaykhul Kabir, means he's a big sheikh, that means there are attributes with him of knowledge, of wisdom, of upper, etc. All right? So, sheikh in that sense has many meanings. So, sheikh in terms of knowledge, sheikh in terms of age, sheikh in terms of... So, the Khawajagans. Khawajas are usually reserved for the Sufi sheikhs and even for the ulama, or what sometimes is called Hoja. These are the different pronunciation. Hoja. That's now used in Iran, Hoja. And also some parts like near Afghan, where the Persian language is being used. Right? So you understand now? So it doesn't matter whether the person is Sayyid or not. So if the person is Sayyid in this manner, you call him Khawaja Sayyid Amir Khusro. Sheikh, who is the Sayyid Amir Khusro. So unlike example, the term Habib is used for a Sayyid who comes from the Ba'alawi lineage after Habib Umar bin Abdul Rahman al-Attas. So because he is the first Habib, in that sense, they call the first to be given the title Habib. So in our tradition, following the silsila, although we have Qadri, we don't put Sheikh, we put Khawaja. Now once you see the Khawajagans, they have their own lineage. That means they have their own maslak, their own way, their own dhikr, their own thing. And most of the time, it is unique to them in that region. You see? So, there's this book called The Beats of Dew, right? That's what it's called. That's for the Naqshbandi. And then you have the Miratul Asrar. That's for our Chishtiya lineage. Right? So these are important to know. When you know how your lineage works, or where it comes from, where it originates, then you won't be questioning why. How come we all don't read that hizib? How come we all don't read that ratib? How come we don't have this? How come we don't have that? You get what I'm trying to say? Because you know, in terms of your manhaj, your lineage, where is it from? That was the reason why a few years ago I kept emphasizing everybody to read Mirratul Asrar, because he explains this. Right? So, according to the Khawajagans, right, the early Khawajagans, you have the Naqshbandi lineage. Then you have the Chishti lineage, the 14 main branches. The Bayazid Bustami lineage, that's the Naqshbandi. Before it's Naqshbandi, it's called Bustamiyah. Before that, it's called Siddiqiyah. And then you have the Wilayat of Ali that we talk about. Through the spear of Ali, Sayyidina Ali, then it went into the Khawajagans. That's where you got Yusaviyah. You have all these 14 branches. You can go back to our Murshid's book or Miratul Asrar. 14 groups. From then you get bigger other groups. Firdausis. So the Khawajagan, the uniqueness about them is their dhikr with dharab, with heat. They emphasize on the locations. They focus on the locations. And then the other speciality about their dhikr is the dhikr of the breath. And a lot of focus on the rabita. A lot of focus on your tasawwur with your murshid. These three are the unique characteristics of the Khawajagans. Any Khawajagan you go, this is where they train you, right? Then the uniqueness about Chishtiya is the Ashghal. Ashghal meaning the practicing of the breath. Okay, Aisha, bring Haider Ali out now. Ashghal is very important. So this is the uniqueness about the Chishtiya method, is the Ashghal, the holding of the breath and the counts of holding of the breath. So in terms of dhikr, first you start with what? First you start with Jahar. So in the Chishti lineage, it has been mentioned that we get intoxicated more with Jahar than the Qalbi dhikr. Understand? So for the Naqshbandi lineage, there's the emphasis on the Qalbi dhikr. The zikr inside, zikr inside, zikr inside. Our method is that zikr inside will come by itself if you keep doing the zikr outside. So that's why you get a lot of audible dhikr, very strong audible dhikr from the Chishti Khawajagans, Ahl Behesht. You understand? From then, once the body has absorbed the physical zikr, then you would start to see your qalb, your heart open up. Once your heart open up, then it becomes qalbu dhikr. No effort on yourself. No need to make so much effort because your effort comes now from the external jahar dhikr. Understand? Once that has been auto, dah jalan sendiri, right? This is all in our Murshid's book. But it's auto, then can the person start to do fasul anfas, basic nafas zikr. So you cannot do breath if you cannot focus on the kalima. You get what I'm trying to say? You cannot focus on the current of the zikr. Then what are you breathing? Breath is current. Breath in itself, according to our Chishti Khawajagans, is not just air. So you need to study the four elements properly. It's not just air. It is a current. It's basically like electricity. Once you get this, then can you do breath? Because right now there's no current in the body, but the current is very low. Why? Because the zikr jahar is not done properly. Understand? So once the zikr jahar is done properly, there is good current or energy or power of the zikr in the self that runs in the self, then the breath will carry this. You see? Then the breath would have can be trained. If not, so fast and fast, the zikr of the breath has many levels. Of course, people can start doing at a certain level. Sometimes we dispense it earlier so that they can engage themselves in it. You see, to motivate the murid, but that doesn't mean the murid has reached that maqam yet. So sometimes some zikr are given earlier to motivate the murid to do the zikr. Because if not, these people like this, they need motivation. Some people need music to study, kind of thing. But actually, it's not the music. It's just their mind cannot concentrate. You see, their mind cannot be quiet for too long. Actually, it's not quiet. It's different. You're not keeping your mind quiet. You're trying to focus your mind. So they don't have the energy to focus. Understand? So we'll read more about that when we get the time, inshallah. So these are some of the major differences. So when it happens in India, what happens is the Khawajagan then also has many branches when it enters India. The Naqshbandis then have about 10 or 12 lata'if. Whereas the Chishti still kept to the 6 lata'if of zikr, using jahar. We don't use lata'if of qalbi we don't use qalbi zikr for lata'if as much. Because once you've done your jahar properly, it would be activated on its own. You get what I'm trying to say? But you just need to be guided with the irshad on the levels of the lata'if. And is this lata'if, what are the characteristics, what are the things that you need to go overcome? This maqam, you see. So some Khawajagans, they don't work with lata'if, they work with straight away, they work with maqamat. It's the same. Maqamat is lata'if, lata'if is maqamat. Right? You just need to know the guide, not you. Your sheikh needs to know at Nasud what needs to be dispensed to you. At all levels, your connection with your murshid is the most important. Bad thoughts, idling, all this would not help. It will not help you in your journey to Allah. Understand? So you have to be clear. What needed what is needed to be weeded out. The Khawajagans are very clear about this. The Khawajagans are very clear about this. People might think they are not scholarly. They are just as scholarly. They are just as scholarly. But for the awam, they push the spiritual practices dhikr first. That has been their pedagogy. And then they give in the scholarly work. Because if you don't have the character, why give the knowledge? So mold the character through association, then we give you the knowledge. So that's why they push. Unlike the way of the Sufiya that come from the Arabian Peninsula. The way of the Sufiya that came from the Arabian Peninsula, you must study to become a scholar first. Then we talk to you about Sufi. But it's the other wave that comes from Iran, from India, etc. We'll give you the Sufi way first, then we make you a scholar. So it should be normal for everybody to know how to take care of their dhikr first. Both ways, two groups of people, two different characteristics, two different needs. So don't ask me which is better. Ask Allah. Alright? So sometimes too much of the dhikr without guidance also can be wrong. Too much of the guidance without the practice also is wrong. So you need to finding the guide, not finding the tariqah. That's most important, nasiha. Finding the guide, not finding the tariqah. Right? We have no business in the tariqah because the tariqah has been set. But it is more about the guide. Which guide is the one that's going to bring you there? You get what I'm trying to say? Okay. The use of the term Khaja, he also said, with the names of both the ancestors of Sheikh Nidhamuddin was perhaps owed to their association with the 𝗠𝘂𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗲𝗲𝗲. 𝗠𝘂𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗲𝗲𝗲. So our silsila is 𝗠𝘂𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗲𝗲𝗲. The Chishtis are 𝗠𝘂𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗲𝗲𝗲. And that is something all of you must take pride in. Don't think, oh, because we're Chishtis, we're Indian, we're second-class citizen. Our tariqat, doesn't read big kitab and all this kind of thing. I throw the kitab at you also, you won't be able to read it because it's in Urdu, or in Parsi, or in apa. You get what I'm trying to say? Because the emphasis is not on the book, but on your association with your murshid. The sheikh is your kitab, you are the sheikh's kitab as well, in that sense. Understand? What is the sheikh going to write in you? Imam Bil-Hassan al-Shadhili also was asked this, don't you write books? He says, these are my books. Abu Abbas al-Mursi are my books. These murids are all my books. I don't need to write books. It's the same. So traditionally, it's always have that aspect. You get what I'm trying to say? So the Khawajagans, when you call Khawaja, it's a huge title to call someone that actually. It's a big title. What more like our Murshid Khawaja Bibullah Shah, we call him Khawajagan, the masters of master. Shaykh al-Mashayikh, that's in Arabic. Right? So Khawajagan, the Khawajagans have always spread their seeds. So initially even, like we've read when we were in Ajmer, written by the Nahdatul Ulama to Sayyid Salman Chishti, he says it is important. So during the Urus of Khaja Mu'inuddin, Nahdatul Ulama president wrote a letter to Sayyid Salman saying that they wish him Urus as well, Urus Mubarak, because of Khaja Mu'inuddin Chishti's contribution to the Islam in Indonesia. Why? Because the Khawajagans were also very active in disseminating Islam. Right? So a lot of the Arabian shuyukh, they went to places like Surat, they went to places like Hyderabad, etc., to take the tariqah from there, and then they come to this part of the world. So that's why you see earlier Ba'alawis, they have Rifa'i, they have Qadri, etc. It wasn't just because of the lineage, but because of the scholarly exchanges they have with the Khawajagans in India. You understand? So example, the dhikr tawheed that has been given by Habib Umar bin Abdul Rahman al-Attas. Allah, 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 and then there is, I think, La ilaha illallah, number of times, zikr tawheed. You can Google it, it's there. That is actually a Naqshbandi amalan given by a Naqshbandi sheikh that moved to Tarim. I forgot the sheikh's name. and you're supposed to say it with one breath, etc. That's a Khawajagan characteristic of amal. You see? But of course, in trying to propagate, I would also say maybe Ratib al-Atas is Khawajagan. You get what I'm trying to say? People in their zealousness might not say these things, but these are the detail in dhikr. So if you sit down and you study dhikr and where it comes from, etc., there's a lot of exchanges. Not one dominates. Alright? So sometimes when you have teachers who are very zealous, overzealous, they do not tell you the truth about the contributors of our founding fathers. You get what I'm trying to say? Suddenly they forget about all of this. Right? Everybody has a role to play in bringing spirituality, actually. But we all must be clear about the silsila that we hold on to, the Khawajagans. Okay, coming back. Khawaja Arab was a man of means and possessed many slaves and considerable wealth. Both the grandparents of Khawaja Nizamuddin first stayed in Lahore, so Pakistan. Now Pakistan. Last time was one big area. But later moved to Badwan. So Badwan is known that where, if you read in history, a lot of the awliya came from there. And they struggled, they had a very difficult life there. Sometimes they don't eat, etc., etc. And from there, Khawaja Nizamuddin studied, and his life of zuhud started there. Allah make it like that. So even until today, if you go to Badwan, the lifestyle is very different. This is in India, where many refugee families had settled, particularly those that eschewed the government service and involved in politics. It was here that Khawaja Arab gave his daughter, Bibi Zulaykha, in marriage to Khawaja Ahmad, the son of Khawaja Ali. Khawaja Nizamuddin was born to this couple. His parents, deprived of all of their material wealth and property, must have developed an otherworldly outlook, and it was to run in the veins of their son as well. Right? So because they were really poor, right? They don't have the means of dunya, basically. What happened is they had to live a life of zuhud and then travel into their son. Khawaja Nizamuddin Awliya. Actually, his name is Muhammad. Muhammad Badayuni Mahbubi Ilahi Nizamuddin Awliya is a title that's given to him. Badwan is one of the cities of northern India where Muslims had settled long before Ghurid armies reached there. At Badwan was born Maulana Raziuddin Hassan Saghani, the famous author of Masharik al-Anwar. A collection, Masharik al-Anwar is actually a book of hadith. At least 10 years before the Battle of Tara'in, Sheikh Nizamuddin or Khawaja Nizamuddin held him in high esteem both as a distinguished traditionalist and a noble son of Badwan. The graves of Mir Mulhim Shahid, Haydar Shahid, and a few others belong to the pre-Ghurid period. Badwan attracted many scholars, poets, saints, and literati when the Mongols dispersed Central Asian families. So a lot of them moved there, much like why people moved to Tarim. Tarim had nothing of dunya, right? The same. This was like that in that sense. It attracted a lot of people, a lot of Sufi, a lot of the awliya, a lot of the scholars to Badwan, and they produced these people until today. In fact, until today, if you see among the Nizami families, among the Chishti families in Ajmer, etc., a lot of what they practice has been handed down from the awliya to the son, to the son, to the son, much like what we see among the Sayyid families in the Middle East as well. And this also exists among the family of the Pir. So if you belong to a family where your forefather was a Pir, Mithar, Murshid, then those practices also must be handed down. Sadly, this day and age, only money is handed down. All of this is being put aside. Wallahi. Sadly. So many people can claim, my father was a murid, or my father was a sheikh, my father was a murshid, or my grandfather was this, but you don't see any traces of this in them, except for the barakah. That means they get the barakah from their forefathers, but not the practices. Right? So this is something, if you are a murid of example, you are my murid. Then what are the characteristics of this that you have inherited from your murshid that can be passed down to your family? Understand? Same. Like example, in the maqam of Khawaja Nizamuddin Awliya, some of them are not descendants of the Sheikh. Khawaja Nizamuddin never got married. So they were descendants of his brother. Some of them were descendants of the murid of Khawaja Nizamuddin. But they still carried on the work of their forefathers. So that means a lot, 800 years ago. The tradition has been kept for 800 years. Keep 5-time daily prayer, retired. 800 years of tradition, not just speaking. Like many people can speak, but how many of us can actually bring it down, inshallah, to our children? Understand? So that's why in the grave or the courtyard of Khawaja Nizamuddin, some of them were murids of the Sheikh, Khalifas of the Sheikh, and all that kind of thing, and they continued. They continued until today, 800 years. Understand? One problem about modernity. So, one thing good about reading books like this, it brings out all your academic aspects as well. If you look at timeline in history, how knowledge travels. So in the past, how did knowledge travel? Literally, someone had to travel to bring that knowledge, or someone had to travel to the source of the knowledge and bring it back. So let's say, for example, I know if this person, this Khawaja is teaching, I had to travel 3 months to get there. Mithal. I'm not going to stay 1 week. I'll be staying minimum a year, 6 months, a few years with that Khawaja, and then get the knowledge and then go back. That means I thoroughly master the knowledge, then I go back. So it takes longer for a person to settle with knowledge. Because this is the only means. This is the only means. Then you get mail, letters, etc., book binding, bookkeeping, etc. As in how you create, this medium that you can carry knowledge. That's where you get calligraphers and all these kind of people, right? Paper came into the picture. So it's easier now. I can write a book, disseminate it. So, but the tradition of still visiting a guru or a Khawaja is still there. You know him as the author of maybe Ihya. You will find the author, Imam al-Ghazali, and then you go and find. Because to get the book itself is not easy. You see? So that means also you had time to allow these ideas and practices to develop. And then you get what? Telegram. That was the next thing. After electricity has been given birth to, you get what? Telegram. Now information spreads a bit faster. Still, human beings have time to develop philosophical ideas. They still manage this. Then you get what? You get print, which is now faster. Right? Now print is faster and is easier, etc. So now you get the books easier. Detach of the authors. So then, but you still have a lot of teachers that can develop you through the medium of the kitabs. Fine. Then you get internet. Those who do not have the mental or spiritual capability to actually understand what is being taught would fall back. This is where you get extremism. Extremism didn't come with just religion, no. Extremism is the product of the misunderstanding of religion, and because of the speed at which we get information, which does not allow us to actually digest and to mature with the religion that we get. And this is the work of Dajjal. Simple. So now you get a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of preachers, a lot of this, but you don't have time to develop whatever you've received. And that's when you get whatever we have today. So those who don't understand Sufism, immediately they go into literal Islam. Because they're not willing to spend time to develop, mature with those teachings. If they lived in Khawaja Nizamuddin time, if they heard of this knowledge, and then they go to Khawaja Nizamuddin, and they sit, and they were forced to sit, at least they won't live as an extremist. You get what I'm trying to say? Now that corruption has already happened. Of course, now if you go to a madrasa and you sit for 1 year, you become even more hardcore lah. You get what I'm trying to say? Because you're not there to study, to be understanding, but you study with a myopic understanding already. You already created that framework of understanding. Waliyahudzubillah. Herein lies the difference. You can be poor, but you can be a great Sufi that benefits the whole community. You can be rich, right? Many Arab states are rich, etc., but you might not be one who actually benefits the Muslim community. How come the poor people can benefit more? Doesn't make any sense. This is what social change is about. It's not just the wealth, but it's the person, how the change maker is. Very, very important. So that's how, in a bit how knowledge changes. As time changes, how we take in knowledge change. So nowadays when you tell people you have to be patient in dhikr, they're not going to be patient because it's developed like that. They study like that. 6 years, 4 years, 10 years. They show you how many years did he sit just to master one dhikr of illallah, maybe. Right? A bit more. Due to its strategic position, the itqa of Badwan occupied an important place. So, in the administrative setup of the Sultanate, in fact, Badwan, where the Sheikh was born, enjoyed a political and cultural status second only to that of Delhi. Khaja Nizamuddin was born on the last Wednesday of the month of Safar. Subhanallah. He was given the name Muhammad, but became known as Nizamuddin. So his original name is Muhammad. Muhammad Badayuni 𝗠𝗂𝗵𝗶𝗆 Chishti. So here, Khaja Nizamuddin Muhammad Badayuni, Badayun. 𝗠𝗂𝗵𝗶𝗆, that's his title. Chishti. That's his name. So what is Khaja Nizamuddin's real name? Khaja Muhammad. Who is the son of who? What's the father's name? Khaja Ahmad. Khaja Ahmad. Ali is the son of Khaja Ali. Ahmad, who is the son of Khaja Ali. Understand? Ali is his grandfather. So Muhammad bin Ahmad bin Ali Nizami. I have to be clear. Nanti orang cakap lain family pula. When Khaja Nizamuddin deprived of paternal love and when was Khaja Nizamuddin deprived of paternal love and care? According to Muhammad Jamal Qiyamuddin, he was a posthumous child, a statement which did not corroborate in any other source. Ali Jandar said that his father passed away when Khaja Nizamuddin was suckling. Amir Khurd more vaguely states that he was in his infancy. According to Jamali, he was 5 years of age. Ali Jandar's statement, coming straight from the mouth of Sheikh, is more trustworthy. The Sheikh had heard about his circumstances in which his father passed away from his elder sister. According to her, their mother, Bibi Zulaikha, had dreamt that someone asked her to choose between her son and her husband, as one of them was destined to die. Bibi Zulaikha chose her son. Husbands, be careful. One of them meant to die. Who would you choose? My son? No, of course. Okay. Of course, but for this case, it's different. It's Khaja Nizamuddin Awliya. May Allah bless both the father, the mother, and the son, inshallah, all three of them. Soon after, Khaja Ahmad fell ill and he passed away. His grave is in Badwan near Sagar Tank. Has been a popular place of pilgrimage through the centuries. Hafiz Rahmat Khan built a mosque and an enclosure around it. The grave of Khaja Ali Bukhari is also in the same enclosure. So these are all the great awliya in their area time. Deprived of paternal affection, Khaja Nizamuddin grew up under the care of his mother, a lady of fervent piety, dedicated to higher moral and spiritual values. Like the mother of Baba Farid. The mother, who is Baba Farid? Yeah, who is he? To Khaja Nizamuddin. He's Murshid. It was she who inculcated in her son a deep and enduring love for religious devotion and a spirit of resignation and contentment, which characterized the Sheikh's achievement throughout his life. When Khawaja Nizamuddin remarked in the context of Sheikh Fariduddin's mother, a son is strongly influenced by the piety of his parents. A son is strongly influenced by the piety of his parents. This also means their daughter. He perhaps had in his mind the influence of his own mother also. Okay, so we'll stop here today, inshallah. Next week, if we have time, we'll go through this life in Badwan. It's very interesting, the life of Khawaja Nizamuddin Awliya. Now it's slowly starting to unfold, inshallah. And then, it's a beautiful, Khawaja Nizamuddin is a beautiful life story. Also have, inshallah, next time we can read the life story of Khawaja Fariduddin Ganj Shakar, etc. To complement this, about the Khawajagans, right? Khawaja, what was the Sheikh's name? Amazing, the 𝗠𝘂𝗵𝗶𝗆 Dainuri, right? He is the Sheikh to Abu Ishaq Shami Chishti. Dainuri, if I'm not mistaken. Khawaja Masters Dainuri, correct. It was said, ever since he was born, until the day he passed away, he did not eat. I read to you. 𝗠𝘂𝗵𝗶𝗆𝗲𝗲𝗲𝗃 Badrul Atqiya Sheikhul Asfiya, adorned with kashaf and karamat. His blessed name was Karimuddin. He was adorned with the garb of honor by Khawaja Hubayratul Basri, radiallahu anh. He went through many strivings in mujahada and had attained a great rank among the awliya. He did not eat his entire life. He did not eat his entire life. When was our last meal? He only inhaled the blessings of the dunya and passed the day. So he only inhaled, dia dah kenyang. Doesn't need to eat. When this Busrukh was born, he used to drink only milk at night and he would not suckle his mother during the day. He kept fast his entire lifespan so that he will open his fast when he meets Allah. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Still doubt the awliya? Of course, people will still doubt. How come no eat? Prophet also, the first thing, the Prophet also eat. First thing they attack Prophet. Like they know the Prophet like that. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. How did he eat? You get what I'm trying to say? How did he eat? So this awliya, the Khawajagans are not normal people. That land did not produce normal people. Thus far, alhamdulillah, we've produced McDonald people. Long John Silver's people. Right? Coffee bean people. We have not produced those who have not ate people, inshallah. And so, inshallah, we hope for a revivification of this. Maybe the children in our khanqa are like that, we don't know. We keep talking about the awliya. Somehow or other, maybe our DNA would change like that, Oh, wishful thinking, Sorry, the Singaporeanness must come out. Right? We should, where go like this one? Sure need to eat what? We eat at least 10 times a day. Grab here, grab again, grab again, grab again, grab again, grab apa? Dia grab angin aja dia dah kenyang. Really? You get what I'm trying to say? Why? Because, if you read, again, because of their mothers and their fathers had that strong himmah. You get what I'm trying to say? So how to do this now? A bit difficult, of course. Nowadays, the entry is 2. Salawat and dhikr. These 2. If your children can do that already, inshallah, salamat. Right? If today Saiful go back and says, children don't eat. but behind him he got one Popeyes. I don't know how like that. Cannot, right, Saiful? Doesn't work like that. You need a lot of the environment. This is not something you can force. You get what I'm trying to say? So the environment is very important. The environment that you create in the khanqa, etc. Same, like when you spend time, like yesterday, I would like to thank each and every one of you who came to clean up the khanqa as well. Everyone. My special du'as to all of you, inshallah. It was a lot of work. I can really feel it. It's mashallah. It's like polished. MashaAllah, tabarakallah, barakallah fikum. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you. My special du'as to all of you. And those who drilled my walls yesterday at home also, my special du'as to all of you, inshallah. So, all are good, inshallah. So, this other thing now is to preserve what we have. Right? So, we don't have Badwan, but we have King George. Block 803. We don't have Delhi, but we have King George. I'm not going to mention it anywhere else. It's my silsila. Why I want to talk about other people? Correct or not? Where else? Here. Oh, Murshid, they also got there. So I don't know. I only know here. Right? They have Ajmer, we have Kubur Qasim. In that sense. So if you understand what we have, then what we need to take care of, inshallah, it'll be easier. If we are distracted by the fast-moving pace of information, then nothing is going to be sufficient for you. Even if I tell you, someone in the silsila never ate in his life. There's another shay, He never eat and he never drink in his life. Oh, okay, alhamdulillah. There must be ada nak top je lah. Kan? Mursyid say one thing, yeah, can. I getting that. We will do is that like that. This all people all. I don't know what to do. Understand? So it's not a competition. Don't feel like you need to compete or you need to, show or whatever. There's all riya. The shiukh, they were like that. If we didn't read it now, we won't know. Hari-hari we read Ulu Imam Shad Dainuri, and then we sometimes add the Chishti. He's the first one without the Chisht. If you read from bottom up, which we do, he's the first one without the Chisht. After that, semua tak ada. Or before him, sorry. Abu Ishaq Shami Chisht. So it's mentioned that during that time, the Chisht area were known to be like the great Buzrukh, all the great awliya were there. And they had great institutions of learning in Chisht. So what Louis Mamshad Dainuri told him, I will give you the name Chisht because the people of that area who have high himma will be following you, will be flocking to you. Not that he's from that area, but because the people from that area will come to him. Ini keramat lain level. Is the sheikh telling him, I'll give you the name of the area. Why? Because they'll be coming to you. Not, he didn't say, you go that area, you will be successful. He didn't say that. I give you the name. He named you upon the area. Lagi dahsyat. Like he took the area, he gave it to him. And that, if you think as a wilayat point of view. So the Khawajagans are, go back, read about them. You should read about them. Right? The Beads of Dew is a good start. Mirror to Asrar is a bigger book, but I think you should read the book as well. Understand it, inshallah. Ya khair, alhamdulillah, may Allah place us with our Khawajagans, inshallah, and place us under their feet, inshallah. And may we be with all of the awliya, no matter who they be, inshallah, until we reach Sayyidina Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May Allah bless all of our murshid. Khawaja Anwarullah Shah, Khawaja Kalimullah Shah, Khawaja Wajhullah Shah, Khawaja Habibullah Shah, Khawaja Arifullah Shah, Khawaja Pir Khair Muhammad Siddiq Mirti, and all of our murshids, all the Khawajagans until Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah bless all of you for taking care of this place and nurturing this place. May it grow and may it be a shade for all of you and your family as well. في الدين والدنيا والآخرة آمين يا رب العالمين وبالله التوفيق والهداية. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Just to let you know that tomorrow there is the Q&A if you are free, inshallah. And then Thursday is the dhikr, right? Friday there is Qasidatul Burdah, inshallah. Saturday there is ziarah. After that, for those who have arranged your appointments with me,